going to show you how to use the lasso tools in Photoshop Elements. There's 3 of them, and to get to them, you're clicking on this little tool right here. If you click and hold on it, you'll see the different types. So they all do different things, but they work very similar as well. So I'm going to just select the lasso tool first, and the way it works is you basically just click and drag to kind of select your little area, and then start and end in the same spot. Then it'll basically give you some little marching ants on there. And then from there you could distort the color. If you wanted to grab the move tool, you could grab the move tool and move that around, resize it. So do quite a few things if you wanted to do that. So obviously I cut a hole in mine, so that was probably not the best thing to do, but that's that tool. And then when you're done selecting it or doing whatever, you go to select and deselect your marching ants. The next tool in here, we'll go to this poly one, and the way this one works, it works great with straight lines. So if you kind of click and kind of click, it's a really good tool to just select straight lines, squares. If I wanted to go do these buildings and try and get this whole lump sum, maybe I was trying to do a skyline and just select the whole thing, this would be a great tool. Once again, you have to start and end at the same spot, and then mouse click, and then that will get your selection going. And then once again, I could take that and manipulate it however I wanted to, delete it if I wanted to. So basically just focusing on that one spot. Deselect to get rid of that. The last one is the magnetic lasso tool, and that's a little bit more technical. Start and end at the same spot, just like the other ones. But what it does, if you click on a spot, it tries to wrap itself around an object. So you can also mouse click while you're going in between there, but it allows you to kind of wrap around something. And this is a tool used for cutouts. Whenever you're using this tool, don't try and be perfect with it, because if you do, you'll just go crazy. But kind of get around to the beginning and then just mouse click, and that'll give you a little selection. Once you've done that little selection, if I zoom in a little bit, I can always modify my selection if I jump back into the lasso tool. I can come up here and I've got some options. I can add to selection, I can subtract from selection, and I can do this little insert selection. So in here, if I want to try and modify this a little bit, so I want to subtract a little. So if I click on this, and then it looks like I kind of missed here, so I'll just kind of click and drag to kind of subtract from selection, click and drag to subtract from that selection. If I want to add, grab this one right here. It tells you when you hop over it, and I can try and add a little bit. And you'd probably want to zoom in a little bit more than I am right now, just so you can do a little bit better job on there. But once you get it all selected, then you can modify it. Maybe I just wanted to cut him out and just move him somewhere else. You can now do that. So so that's the selection tool, and you can do quite a bit with it. Just remember to use those little things up there. You also do have this feather effect that you can do some things with. If you choose to use the feather effect, let me get back on my regular mode. If you use the feather effect, anytime you bump that up past 0, so I'll go to like 20, what it does is anytime you use a selection tool, it'll feather it. And now if I come in here and move that out, you'll kind of see how it's feathered, the little cutout and everything. So it's great for feathering certain images and doing cutouts that way. So, but those are the lasso tools.